We are here. We're here.
We're live. Can you guys hear me okay? Tommy, what's up?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the YenYorkCity Live podcast here. I am Luna Satori, your co-host with host YenYorkCity.
What's up, everyone? How was your week? Our week was crazy. Awesome.
It's been a month.
It's been a month, and it's going to continue to be the month. It's like a September to remember, I think, because there's going to be a lot of memorable events happening. This week was very eventful.
Yeah. We went to see Collective Soul at Jones Beach Theater with Hootie and the Blowfish.
Which I did not expect. I never really thought that I would go see Hootie and the Blowfish. Because I like them. I like them as much as I like Dave Matthews Band. Like, I appreciate the artistry and the musicianship, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it just takes me back to, like, when I was really young, like, junior high school days and, like, getting ready. And I remember back then when we used to actually listen to radio stations and it was, like, top 100 there was a lot of rock. There was a lot of grunge. And there was a lot of Hootie and the Blowfish.
A lot of Hootie.
And Collective Soul, and
yeah.
I love them, you know, from Heavy to December to Shine.
So shout out to Johnny Rab
hooking us up.
Hooking up those tickets. We got to see him play, which is awesome. And we didn't know that he gave us these backstage passes for the after show.
Yeah, it was like a surprise, I guess, from him. And we went to Will Call, and then we opened the envelope. It was like backstage, blah, blah, blah.
I got it here.
School.
Let me see, I can show you.
After show, whatever, but that has your actual. Yeah.
It is after show pass. It's pretty cool.
So, funny story. We went to someone that led us to another dressing room, and it was like the Hootie and the Blowfish, like exclusive area.
Yeah.
And we didn't know, and then Johnny's texting him, and he's like, "Where are you guys? I'm gonna go get you and stuff." And then we're like, "We don't know where we are. This is where they led us to." And then he took a video.
I'm like, "I'm in this room.
Show me the room. Show me the room." And then there's all these executives and stuff and snacks and drinks. He's like, "Oh shit. No, all right, where exactly?" And then so he came, and Johnny's like this big ball of energy, like all drummers, you know, and he's like, "Oh shit, okay." And so he's like, "I'm gonna see where you guys are."
I was showing him the side of the stage where like where they're unloading everything.
Yeah. And then we're like leaving, and then we see him like, "Oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. Let's hug. Oh, we do the hug and the initial hello."
Elvin Fairy Queen, thank you for the sub.
We're gonna go see her in London. We're gonna hang out with Elvin Fairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see a lot of friends that are coming out to London and Liverpool. So that's gonna be fun. Thank you so much for that sub, Waves.
So yeah, we were trying to guide Johnny where we were.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is, like, he's like, yeah, maybe you want to get out of here? Let's go somewhere. I was like, yeah, because it was like there was no intimacy, and we didn't know a lot of people, and I guess we didn't really belong there in a way.
Yeah.
And he wanted to take us to his backstage. So then we go and we're like sneaking out, and then all of a sudden I see Darius.
Yeah.
The singer of Hootie and the Blowfish and the guitarist.
Just walking towards us.
And I'm like, "Oh, great show." And he stops. He's like, "Hello." And then he's like, "What's your name?" And then I tell him my name, and I was like, "Oh, you did a great show," and stuff. And then Johnny's like, "Hi." He's like, "Oh, you did a great show too." And then we just start talking, and it was like a moment, right? But like one of those things, me growing up in New York City, that happens a lot, right? Like you meet a lot of people, you go to concerts, you do after parties and stuff. No, I didn't get a picture with Darius and whatever, but like
we were in the moment.
We were in the moment, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, I was like, I have Hootie Cooties on my hand."
Hootie Cooties.
Because like we're like imagine COVID times, that would not have happened, So everybody used to say, "Oh my God, but I was like so happy because I was like, that was unexpected. And then we went to the backstage, and if you saw my Instagram post, I got a picture in front of the stage and everything. And, we met Ed, we met the whole band. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so honored." Because, like, all the guys that I grew up listening to, all the grunge guys especially, like, a lot of them have passed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one that I didn't meet. I've met a lot of them. They're passed now, but, like, I felt like, whoa, that's, like, crazy. And to see the rock stars you grew up watching when you was a kid age is something, it makes life It's some crazy shit. Like I almost cried when I saw them live because I was like, wow, you know, like, and I almost cried when they played "Let Her Cry," the Hootie and the Blowfish. I don't know. It was a moment. I had so much fun, and I can't wait for another moment like that. And it's gonna happen because we're going to London, we're going to Liverpool, we're gonna meet awesome people there. We're gonna meet the guest we have tonight, the man of the hour, Ollie Winiberg. And we're going to be talking about everything. He's the host, and we got him here tonight, guys. So what an honor to have him here with us, chatting, talking, getting excited, getting hyped, because it's going to be my first time going to the UK. And
both of ours.
Yeah. So let's, without further ado, I think we should get the man of the hour, the amazing, beautiful man that he is, Ollie Winiberg. Are you ready for me, Ollie?
Hello, let's do it.
Let's do it. This is Ollie Winiberg.
Let's get him on the screen.
Host.
1, 2, 3. Ollie!
Ta-da. How are you?
Oh, amazing. How are you doing today?
I'm delicious, delightful, dyslexic, all the D's.
Okay. I remember the last time we had you here.
Yes.
That was like a year ago, was it?
About, yeah.
I know.
Wow.
It was March 23, so we're actually just over.
What?
I know.
And who would have thunk now this month, September, is the month that we are, we're actually going to meet in face-to-face now after a year of knowing each other, following each other's content. So Ollie is an incredible podcaster. If you guys are not following Ollie Winiberg, he does all kinds of podcasts with like really big artist names out there. So I know you've been doing podcasts, BBC events, and hosting a lot of TV and television and for years. And we're delighted and honored to have you here, sit with us and talk about it.
Stop it.
So we gotta thank you.
No, don't be silly. Honestly, it's my pleasure to come on. Thank you for having me.
Sorry, hold on. My Alexa is
So we have things
off
here that trigger like AI, like Alexa.
Oh.
Google.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said that I triggered it.
I don't know.
It just got very
That's okay.
excited.
It started playing Paramount Sports for some reason. Maybe it's giving us updates on the football game. I don't know.
That's not a bad thing.
What's your team?
Okay, honestly, I made a sports joke and I've watched probably about 3 games of football in my life. I don't understand it. And also, you guys call it football, but use your hands.
For American football, yeah.
Yeah, soccer is football for them.
Yeah, we hold an egg.
So it needs to be called hand egg. Change it immediately.
Egg ball.
Yeah.
But
we've been seeing.
I'm just music.
We've been seeing a lot of your interviews that you've been doing recently with some of the guests that will be at the the UK drum show.
Yes.
How has that been? It looks like you were having a lot of fun with a lot of these guests. Are you doing these just to prepare for what's to come?
Warming
at the show?
us up to see all the greatness.
Well, firstly, I hosted the UK drum show last year, the main stage, and you guys will see in just a couple of weeks. It is the most incredible drum exhibition I have ever been to. And, it needs a venue like the ACC Liverpool because you will see it is just so massive. And inside the ACC is this huge auditorium with 2,000 seats or whatever. It's like a theatre. And that's the main stage where the drummers are. So I hosted it last year and I became really good friends with the organiser. Massive shout out to Neil Golding and his family for putting on the event. And I said to Neil, we need to put our heads together and you do this amazing event. I do podcasts. Let's club together and start interviewing some of the people that are going to be playing the main stage next year to highlight what an amazing event the UK drum show is. And he was like, yeah, of course. So we started with Nick Collins, who obviously son of Phil Collins, and he's he's going to be playing over the weekend on the main stage, and it just went from there. And then we got more and more interviews. We got more excitement from people that wanted to come to the event, and it just went really well. So I've clubbed up with the UK Drum Show to not only host this year's event, the main stage, but I'm also doing the podcast as well, which is building up a little bit of excitement because it's just going to be such an amazing weekend, and the beers are on you.
Yeah, that does sound amazing. And we look forward to it too. Like we were looking on the website, we were seeing some of the drummers that's going to be there. And I remember you tried to invite us there last year, but it was like soon for us.
It was like last minute. It's like we had like a week to plan. I'm like, it's literally this weekend.
But then you were like, you told us in advance that you're rehosting again, that you got invited to host again.
So like next year,
we need to go.
We're going.
Like, okay.
Deal.
Honestly, you guys, I mean, obviously, Yen, I know that you're massively into your music, but Luna, just from a drummer's perspective, this is going to be like you're going to be living in your version of the Playboy Mansion for 2 days. You're going to absolutely love it.
I mean, I'm going to be in heaven because I'm going to be around a lot of drummers. So, I mean, I feel that sentiment. Mm-hmm. Yes, I feel that sentiment because as a podcaster, I think like I would say more than 70% of my guests are drummers, you know? Sure. And it started off with like, that's basically the heart of the music. So I've always been really like the one pushing like, nah, it's the drummer. You guys don't understand. Like, they're the foundation, baby. And I mean, even the father of my children is the drummer. You know what I mean? Like, sure. They have that. And I feel like this is one of the biggest gifts that I could give to him is taking him to the UK. And it's on our anniversary. So it's kind of like a both double, amazing thing because he gets to have, a moment to be like really in with all this kind of like the gear, it is like what you said, because he's
like a sliver of NAM being pulled out
for drummers,
for all drummers.
Oh my God. So it's a huge venue. And not only do you have this auditorium that, as I said a moment ago, sits like over 2,000 people or whatever it is, you've got rooms that are dotted all around the ACC Liverpool, ranging from capacities that are quite intimate from maybe 20 or 30 people right up to maybe 400, 500 people. So there's different, it's not just all in kind of one room. You can walk around and you can go and check out what other drummers are doing or percussionists. You can go and get your own in-ear monitors made. You can go, there's so many things.
I was thinking of doing that too because my in-ears are just like the ones you get, and they're like I have tiny baby ears, and it's always hard for me to like get them to stay in place because they're small ears, and I'm like, oh, this is not working. And I was like, I want to be able to do that. So if I see it, I probably will try. I don't know how long that takes, but I'll be running around everywhere. Like
Elvin Fairy Queen says, wear your walking shoes.
It's a good thing I can walk in heels. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, so I've been doing this I guess all my life. I've walked in heels, so I'm definitely gonna be prepared. But I feel like one of the experiences I can't wait is to see a lot of the performances also. And I know Benny Greb, right? He's gonna be performing after the show.
Saturday night, I believe, right after the show. Yes. Yeah.
And I can't wait for that.
Because it's your anniversary, that basically means that we've got to go out and we've got to celebrate it. And I'm just going to be the third wheel and I'll just celebrate it with you.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, all right.
Let's do it. No, that sounds like such a plan.
I've actually told Nick Collins that we're going to be using his father's credit cards to pay for an entire weekend of drinks.
Wonderful. Run up the bill. Let's go.
Yeah. In the air tonight can pay for that. That's fine. But no, seriously, all jokes aside, I mean, it is honestly an event that, from my perspective, it pulls on a lot of emotional heartstrings because I'm a drummer as well. But even if I wasn't a drummer, I just love being surrounded by drummers because I just think all of us just share this kind of extrovert, happy personality. Like you go to a guitar clinic and they're kind of sitting and writing notes and kind of keeping it to themselves a little bit. But you go to a drum show and they're like, "Guy, did you see what he did there?" And they kind of sharing ideas and sharing notes. And I just think
they're bros. They're bros. They're not.
They
it's not like I know guitarists tend to, and I know I'm sorry, guitarists, if you were watching this or whatever. But you know that drummers are like the most like chill guy in the band. They usually are the man's man. Like they're like, "I got you." When we went to a show, we had a gig. He left his drum key and he needed it. And you know what? The other guy's, I got you, man. I got you.
He brings out a whole bag full
different
of
kinds. He's like, pick, and don't worry about it. I got you. And it's like, you see what I'm saying?
The drum keys are like the guitar picks of
I
drummers.
know. That's what we're talking about.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's always like that. And then guess what? Drummers have always been down to do the podcast. They're the easiest guys to talk to. They're the personality usually of the band, right? And the spokesperson. A lot of times the drummers are the ones that like do all the behind the scenes things, and they see everything in front of them happening, whether it's really glorious or everything's falling apart. It's like they have the front row
the best
view.
seats in the house.
The
See everything go
throne.
down.
That's why they call it the throne, you know what I mean? Because they're really the king of like the stage and the back, seeing everything go down. So
I've landed on my feet having you guys talk about drummers with such high regard. So I'm certainly not gonna be bored of hanging around with you guys at the weekend.
Oh yeah. We've seen some of your drum that you did a show recently too.
Yeah, tell us about that. That looked really fun.
Yes, you have to share that now.
No, I haven't drummed live in ages, and it was just like a local venue with. I'm very lucky that my two best friends in the whole world, one's a guitarist and one's a bass player, and they're in a band, and we kind of always wanted to like sync up and and work together, and I just the timing was just kind of right from my perspective. And a massive shout out to Zildjian Cymbals, who absolutely sorted me out, by the way. I exclusively use Zildjian Cymbals.
Nice.
So yes, I've got a huge shout out for them as well for looking after me, and kind of taking me on board, I guess.
So was it like an original band that you've worked with, or is it like a cover band, or is it like
No, it's original. It's kind of like I suppose imagine if Nirvana wrote songs in different time signatures. It's kind of like stoner prog, I guess.
Nice. That's different.
I like the sound of that.
It is different, and it might be very, very unsuccessful. So let's see how it goes.
Or it might be successful.
Yeah,
so.
It might be.
As long as you guys are having fun doing it, and it's like you're doing it for all the reasons that makes you feel good and alive, being on stage again and getting to play and bang on some drums. That's the whole really thing of it, the essence of it. So if you're having fun, and then if it takes off, then that's a bonus.
Elvin Ferry's Queen says, band name, please.
Oh, yeah. Let us know the band name.
The band's name is Humble Slug. So imagine somebody quite humble, but who's also a slug. It's a strange name. I wasn't part of the naming. I wasn't part of the naming. But talking about drums and hitting things, what I was going to say is in the exhibition area downstairs I don't know, I'm pointing downstairs as if I'm there, but downstairs in the ACC Liverpool, there's an entire floor dedicated to basically every drum brand known to man. So you've got drums that you can try, you've got cymbals that you can try, you've got electric kits, you've got drumsticks, you've got merchandise, t-shirts, hats, just everything. And you can obviously buy stuff there as well. So
I've seen a booth when one of the videos that we can like tease on here, they have something called the Drumyoki.
They didn't have that last year. They might have done. I'm not too sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was a booth, and they say that you can play with like a group of people, like a band almost, and it's like everyone wears headphones, and then they can hear what you're playing.
Yes.
Ooh.
That you should definitely get involved with that.
Yeah, that's pretty
because
fun.
It's because you look like so much like Mike Portnoy that people might glance over and they might think, "Oh my God, it's Mike Portnoy." Oh, he's not.
Well,
I should dye my beard blue before I go out there.
Something happened.
You should.
When we went to the show, the Collective Social, somebody stopped you and thought they were somebody they knew.
Yeah.
That happens, though. That happens like random times, all the time.
And then I might just get a request to play Dream Theater that day. So
You might. Are you going to go and see them?
we want to when they start booking their tour. Because Mike Portnoy's back. So
yeah, we
We'll
went
see.
to see them twice already. So next time it's gonna be with Mike Portnoy.
With
so
the original crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's gonna be crazy.
And the new album that they're gonna be hopefully releasing soon.
And speaking of, Jordan Rudess just came out with a new album too, right?
Oh
Yes, he did.
We were
And
listening
it's
to it this morning, and tell us about that because I know you're excited about that album too.
Oh my God, I mean, I think I've spoken about Jordan on your podcast.
He's your
before.
Husband.
You know what's really weird? I was texting him the other day, and I said when because I'm obviously going to go and see him in London next month, and after the show, I said to him, I'm going to tell Danielle, his wife, I'm going to tell her that I'm actually your husband, and I just want to see her face drop, but just for fun. So Jordan's solo album, it was amazing. I think it's Jordan's best work to date, and obviously he worked with two of my friends, Darby Todd, who is the drummer for Devin Townsend, and a
So
singer
that's who it
called
was.
Yes, yeah.
We saw Devin Townsend this year too.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have seen Darby.
I saw him. Incredible.
Darby is an amazing drummer. Amazing. He is so. Just everyone's after him at the moment. He's relevant. He's popular. He's likable. He's a good drummer. He's a nice guy. Like, you know, there's not really many things that go against him in his playing or his character from my perspective. And also, perhaps I think it's probably fair to say a lesser known musician, the singer, that's Joe Payne. His name is. I know Joe's done a lot of work with music in the past, but he's not done anything to kind of this scale. And one thing I love about Jordan is that he isn't scared to spotlight new talent and nurture, you know, emerging artists. Jordan wouldn't be bothered if, you know, Joe Payne or Darby had like 500 followers on Instagram or whatever. That wouldn't bother him. He would just be bothered about, can you play the music? And basically, are you not a penis? And as long as you're, you know, not those two things, or not that, and not that, then he'd be absolutely
a
fine.
wanker. That's good.
Don't be a wank.
Was that your right? Okay, so we actually, because you're coming to England, we should probably do like a game where like I'll say what something is, and then you guys have to say. For example, we'd say pavement, you'd say sidewalk, we'd say tomato, you'd say tomato. I don't know what else you say actually.
Banana.
Banana, banana, banana.
You sound like Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Banana. What's another one? What's another one?
I only got that because it was
toilet. We call it bathroom.
Bathroom is a toilet.
I have to go to the toilet.
Oh my god!
Have to use the restroom.
The restroom. Toilet seems so like raw. Like.
So
I'm gonna go to the shitter.
That would be.
You know what I'm saying? It sounds so weird to me, but you know, I mean,
I was driving. I went to Vegas once, and I was driving. I did that drive, like you know that every tourist does. They drive from Vegas to California, and I did that. And I stopped off at a place for petrol, or as you guys call it, gas. And we stopped off at a place called Thousand Oaks, and I only remember it because I really wanted to move there after I drove through it. And I said to the guy in the petrol station, "Oh, can I use your loo?" And he looked at me as if like I was some sort of alien, like he didn't know what I was saying. And then
Loo,
sorry,
it's a bathroom.
Exactly. So that's another one you can try when you come over.
Wait, so what is the train? The underground
Yeah, the underground.
Underground.
It's not a trolley. It's a tube. You guys call it. Yeah. We call it a subway.
The subway.
Oh, okay. A subway here is a larger baguette.
A larger baguette.
I thought that's...
baguette, like a sandwich.
Oh, a subway.
I'm like, you guys call isn't that bread?
Isn't it baguettes of bread?
Elvin Fairy Queen says, just don't say fanny.
Don't say fanny when you're over here.
So you can't wear a fanny pack and be like, oh, let me check my fanny.
Let me check my fanny pack.
Fanny pack.
I'm gonna dig up my arse.
Yeah. You could say fanny pack. I guess that'd be okay. I think if you stopped up in the street and said, "I need to check my fanny," you might be arrested.
Oh, so is that a bad word? Is that like
what fanny?
It's an ass, right? Is it?
It's your butt.
No, a fanny is a ladies downstairs department.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
The J? The J?
Yeah.
So that's what that is.
Oh, that's a weird word. A fanny is. Oh.
Yeah.
That visual is not even good either. No. It's horrible.
Oh man.
Means lady parts. Okay.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, that was a better way of putting it rather than downstairs department.
Downstairs department.
I don't know why I said that.
Okay, so that is a no. Okay, well, we don't really use that.
Imagine the AI clips of this.
Oh my god.
Podcast host talks about fannies.
Brilliant. Bye-bye career.
What's another thing?
So when we go to Liverpool, right? It's our first time there, and
Okay.
we're gonna be there a day in advance before the actual show so that we can get kind of acquainted with the area.
and jet lag.
Yes.
Are you going to be available the day beforehand? Are you going to be in that
Yes.
area by then?
I'll probably be there. Oh, yeah, I'll probably get there quite late on the Friday. Yeah, so we can hang.
probably
We will start a group WhatsApp, and we
Okay.
will go from there.
Oh, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Why don't we just use
Yeah.
Instagram?
Okay, well, you can do that. Whatever's best for you. Whatever's best for you.
Yeah, because we're looking for different like locations to check out like while we're there before the show, so that we can find like restaurants and stuff that you would recommend in that area.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
And
well,
Liverpool, is Liverpool like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I guess I'm gonna ask the guys that are coming from London. So I know London is like the hub. It's like the city, the center city, right? So
it's capital, yes.
so is Liverpool like Brooklyn? Like what is, you know how like in certain like areas, like I know we do that with California, like certain parts like LA is Manhattan, let's say.
I think we are obviously, the UK is so small compared to you guys. We are this tiny little island with a bit of an attitude problem, and we don't really look at it like that. We kind of we have London, and everything kind of happens in the main cities, which are like London, Manchester, Birmingham, Liverpool, and then obviously you've got Edinburgh and Glasgow, and and obviously Wales as well. But they're kind of the main, I guess, city. Well, obviously Wales is its own country, but yes, they're probably the main places there. But Liverpool, obviously, is the birthplace of the Beatles.
Yes.
And there are, I mean, the shrine city when it comes to the Beatles. You've got like a Beatles museum. You've got streets where the Beatles had their pictures taken, and obviously you can recreate those. And the history of Liverpool, just with regards to the Beatles, is unreal. And Liverpool is so known for contributing so much to the world of music and art. So you will feel at home there, and it's a really fun place as well.
are there
And
any
the place
open
is
mic nights during the weekend there that we can all attend to?
I think that after 8 hours of drums, I don't know if you're going to want to go to an open mic
True.
night.
True.
Because after you come out feeling inspired, and also like, I need to go to a library or something. Like, so
Quiet, yeah.
We're gonna just hearing drums all weekend and throughout the day of the rest of the week, and then when we're
Yes.
home for the rest of the month, it's just gonna be drums. Looping
Yeah.
There's a street that is there's a street that's basically dedicated to like pubs and clubs and stuff, and I swear to you, it is, I've never heard noise like it, and the music is so loud as you walk through the street.
Oh,
you can
hear
feel
everything.
your organs jiggling inside.
Wow.
It is. I will show it. I'll show it to you guys.
Yes.
I'll show it to you guys.
That'd be fun.
Elvin Fairy Queen is like, they're New Yorkers. They'll be out.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Like, we don't sleep. I went to sleep at like 5:30 in the morning last night, and if I get into that. But yeah, it's like very much like that. We'll be up all night as long as, there's
Yes.
caffeine, and I know you'll show us around or whatever.
I
But
can try it.
yeah, it's going to be a really fun time. And then, so the whole event has also, is it clinics or master classes that we can go to?
Both. Yes, both. So you essentially kind of queue up to attend whichever thing you want to go to. So there's lots of different rooms that cater for lots of different things. So if you're into percussion and you might want to sit down with a group of like 10 or 20 people, and you can kind of talk about that and all kind of have a jam. If you want to go and see Nick Collins or Ray Hearn from Haken, or if you want to see those artists that are kind of doing their thing, obviously head over to the main stage. But each room offers something really different and unique. So it's sort of like every room you go in, it's like another kind of universe, another world, if you like. So it's super exciting. And you know, you guys are from New York. You're hard and you can take it. And I think you'll absolutely love it.
Yeah. I mean, you put us anywhere in the world, we'll like blend in. So we
Yeah.
open our mouths.
We're adaptable.
That's the thing. And also, like, you guys are super friendly as well. I found when I went to New York that everybody was just so cool and so kind. Yeah, I don't know. And you guys are the same. So whenever I meet people from America, they're like, "Oh, I'm from New York," and I feel like, yeah, I kind of guessed that because you're like so approachable and so nice. So
Yeah, we feel the
obviously
same.
That's the same with you guys.
We feel the same. Our like the connections we've made through just having podcasts and people. We've had all kinds of people from Germany, Sweden, from Australia, from UK, and I gotta say, people from UK and Australia, especially those two places, it's like they're New Yorkers at heart. Like there's something about them that reminds me of like we're just cool and like laid back. But then there's like this sarcasm in our humor.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I appreciate because people don't get us sometimes. But I think Australians and, you know, people from UK are very similar. I think that's why we get along so well.
I agree. I mean, if I was going to sort of make a holiday brochure for England, I think I'd just say, if you like sarcasm and sweeping your emotions under the carpet at all times, then please do come and visit.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, don't ever come.
Yeah. And there's a myth about apparently we serve warm beer. I don't know.
I heard
where
about that. I heard our friend told us that, oh, be prepared because he's the one that drinks. Be prepared for warm beer. And I'm like, oh. And he doesn't even like warm.
I don't like cold coffee.
Coffee, yeah. Coffee.
Let alone warm beer.
There's there is not warm beer in the UK. I'm going to debunk that myth now. I think what's happened is,
debunked.
I think perhaps one person maybe. So over here, and I know you've probably got them over there. There's like ales and stuff, and sometimes ales are served at like a room temperature, but that's not a beer. That's an entirely different drink.
Right.
So I think that's where you're not going to have cold beers.
Elvin Fairy Queen says y'all should be drinking tea.
Yes, we're gonna go to a tea place with Elvin Fairy Queen. She's all about it. She even makes her own tea.
Yeah, she makes her own tea.
So hook us up with a bag of tea when you come.
Yes.
And we'll drink some of your tea and be like, this is awesome. You know, promote Elvin Fairy Queen's tea.
Tea's good. I'm gonna make you guys a British cup of tea.
Oh.
I'm gonna do that.
An English.
Yes.
Okay,
an English cup of tea.
Do you guys put a splash of milk?
Okay. Right, here we go. Ready? Right. Focus, children. Okay. You've got to have your cup, tea bag first, then hot water. You've got to leave it for 2 minutes. If you drink it before that, it's going to taste like shit. And then take the tea bag out, then you add your milk, and then you add your sugar. And that is how you make a cup of tea.
My dad likes it like that, just like that, like the way you described it.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taught well.
Yeah.
And going back to like the beer thing, it's like going to Italy. You can't put like ice cubes in wine.
In wine? That why?
Mamma mia! Like that would never happen, right? So,
Who puts ice cubes in wine?
Like teenagers that don't want warm.
You want
or
a sangria? Just have something else.
Go to Spain. Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like the whole thing is like sometimes certain beers are supposed to be like temperatured a certain, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Like the craft beers.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. That's 100% correct. Yeah, some of them are.
And I'm not even a drinker. I just know this from when I used to drink. So
when you're over here, are you gonna go? Because you've not been to the UK before, have you?
No, we both first time for both of us.
So are you gonna like try some of our food?
Not the pork blood thing. The pudding, no.
The black pudding
no,
it's amazing.
We don't eat pork here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then avoid that.
Yeah, we try to stay away from the
and
piggy.
I love all kinds of foods, but it's like I know there is certain foods like that is made out of pork blood, of sausage, right? But everyone says that. But what is the signature dish other than the blood pudding, the black pudding?
Well, that's not really a dish. That's like an accompaniment to like a meal,
like a pate.
So I would say if you were going to have something typically British, you would need to probably go for a roast dinner.
A Sunday roast. That's what Elvin Fairy Queen just said.
Yeah. I would say you can't go wrong with that. So and that's good.
What's
Fish and chips.
in the Sunday roast?
So typically chicken.
Chicken.
And yeah, so you've got chicken and gravy, and you've got a Yorkshire pudding. Have you ever heard of a Yorkshire pudding?
Mm.
Okay, so you've got one of that. It's basically like
And
a
a
savoury
spotted
sort of
dick.
battered. No, that's a dessert.
That's a dessert.
But there's-
I know
yeah.
that's a thing, though, right?
It is.
A
It
spotted
actually
dick.
is.
Yeah.
Yo, let me get that spotted dick, bro.
On the side, you know what I'm saying?
Please allow
He
me
got
to
so
reiterate.
red. He got so.
Do not ask somebody for a spot of dick. You will be given something you don't want.
Listen, let me get a spot of dick. Wait,
Where
no,
can I
that's
get?
yeah,
Where
not
can
exactly
I get a
what I'm
spotted
looking
dick?
for.
You're
I
gonna see
heard that's
part
a
of the
delightful
nightlife.
thing.
You want a fanny
You're
on
gonna
top of that?
Oh
honestly.
no! Oh no!
You guys are going to get arrested
No.
when you're over here.
All we gotta say is we're from New York. You know, we're New
Yeah.
Yorkers. I mean, forgive us.
No, you'll be fine. So yeah, you should go
You'll
for
be
it.
fined.
You'll be fine. You'll
Wow!
be fine. Go.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
say
we're-
that, babe. Don't say it. As much as I know,
So we stay away
your
from.
ADD kicks in.
It's like the curious
Fanny!
mind. Like you
Yes.
want to step over that bound, but you know you shouldn't.
It's the Sag in him talking. You know,
Let's see what
the
happens.
impulse,
It's,
the fire
you-
sign.
I would say yeah. Don't ask anybody for a spot of dick.
Okay. A
yeah.
spotted, but that's a dessert, right?
Spotted.
Spotted.
A spotted dick.
Spotted.
Spotted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spotted.
A spotted dick. And a cup of tea.
I was just gonna say something so wrong.
I'm just gonna. If it's in the menu, I'm gonna point and be like, I want that, whatever that is. That's what I
A
want.
freckled dick.
A freckled dick.
I really don't know what happened to when that person was like making that dessert, and they thought of all the things they could call it, and they just went spotted dick.
Maybe
Like,
his name
why-
was Dick.
It probably
Richard.
was.
Wait until
Richard.
you see the tube. Stop
It-
called
it-
cock.
What?
No, what Elvin Fairy Queen said.
Wait until you see the tubes stop. Called cock fosters.
Is that
Oh,
a stop?
Cockfosters. Yes.
Wh-
Yeah, and there's a place not too far away from where I am called Fingering Hoe.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And we
A
got some
real
weird
place.
names here too. So.
I mean, I know. One day we like actually made it a thing, like when we had a road trip. Let's see what are the weirdest names in America,
Yes.
street names, and there was a bunch of them that were really crazy.
There was this place called Manasses. In passing, going south past Washington,
Okay.
the DC area.
There was some worse names though.
Dumb fries.
Nice.
No, there was some bad ones though. I forgot which ones. I guess because I just like.
We just blanked it out. We're like, we
Yeah.
don't want to remember this.
You just drove with your eyes closed.
I grew up near Pennystone. Pennystone? I don't think I'm saying that right. But
Penis stone.
Penis Stone. Penis Tone.
Penis tone.
It can be broken down in several different ways.
All I know is
could.
that's
It
what I
definitely
heard.
Pen is tone. All right, so let's get back to the UK drum show.
We veer a lot.
yeah,
The
the
ADD
ADD
in the
kicked
room.
It's all good. It's all good.
So you did interviews. There's a lot of amazing artists that's going to be there. Who was your most recent interview that you just did? Was it Achilles or was it
I spoke with Santino Scavelli, who is a multi-instrumentalist and a percussionist, but he is coming to do his performance with Annika Niles, who, she's just
We were just talking about her yesterday.
She's she's amazing. I've got an episode with her coming out very soon.
Ooh, watch out for that.
So yes, so that will be really cool. But what was really cool about Achilles is, in the world of metal, he's kind of infamous and rock and prog and stuff. But he said on the episode of the UK Drum Show podcast with me that he's bringing an insanely big drum kit.
so his original kit?
I believe so. He didn't give too much away, but I think it's going to be. He's had it specially made
Oh, so it might
for
be
this event.
more to it then. Jeez.
So
That's exciting to
it's
see
going to be
in
cool.
person.
It's going to be cool. Yes, it's going to be really, really cool.
I followed
There's
Achilles since like early 2000s when he was in Angra.
Oh, anger.
Yes.
So
And
I'm
he was in
excited to see
Dragon
him.
Force for a little while, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
he's
him.
Me too. There's loads and loads of people. The main stage, and actually the entire event really is just like going to be absolutely insane. And each drummer, I think, to the main stage, certainly from speaking with them on the podcast, they all bring something very different and very interesting to the table. But they've all got such great personalities as well. And I think the podcast is cool because you get to like know about them before seeing them on stage, which is super fun.
So if anyone is listening and watching, and if you guys want to watch these podcasts, definitely go check them out on the UK Drum Show YouTube channel. Right?
Yeah, yes, they come out first on Spotify and then they are released onto YouTube as well.
There you go.
But it's exclusive, exclusive first plays on Spotify as well. And Ray Hearn from Haken, I mean, you know, Haken did their track Kneel by Mouth, which some people are now calling this generation's Dance of Eternity. So he's an amazing drummer in his own right. So I've actually asked him to play that, so I really hope he does play Kneel by Mouth.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because it's a crazy piece of work. It's so good.
Yeah, we heard a song pop up on Spotify, and we were like, "Huh, this band sounds familiar." Like we heard the vocals, and it was very proggy, and we weren't sure like who it was. And I'm like, "Man, like this sounds like amazing, but like the singer is so familiar." And we don't know what it was, so we looked it up, and it was Haken, and we were like, "Of course it was Haken."
Of course it was, and and then it was the drummer and everything sounded like. Wait a second, and it was it was.
Ray genuinely has limb independence that I have never seen in another drummer. It's like each one of his limbs has got its own separate brain. I don't know how he physically does what he does on the drums. And I know you guys are huge prog fans anyway, but if you get the opportunity to see any of his stuff, just watch it because you'll be mesmerized.
Yeah, we definitely want to check that out. So the UKDrumShow.com has the itinerary of like the time slots of all the artists, and a few of the artists. Is there one in particular that you're like, ooh, like
Kenny?
Everyone really needs to see this one person for sure. You can narrow it down.
Well,
that's hard.
It is hard.
I'm naturally a fan of the underdog. And I'm not saying that there is an underdog on this lineup, but I mean, when you look at names like Chris Coleman or Anna Canals or Kenny Aronoff or Achilles, they have already got a huge loyal fan base.
They've gotten their flowers.
They've worked incredibly hard to build that fan base and to get that love, which is so deserved. But for me, like, a drummer who really I didn't know much about until this was Lena Anderberg, who despite
I was just looking at her too.
Oh my god, she's incredible, and she plays for Zara Larsson 100%, and she plays for Zara Larsson, and I didn't know much about her. And then we got talking, and we did the interview, and I followed her on Instagram and stuff, and she's such a fun and vibrant and just joyful drummer, and she's got an amazing sense of humor as well. So I think from my perspective, like, I'm really excited to see her. From a personal point of view, like, I'm really looking forward to seeing Nick again. And do you know what? Just the whole lineup is just unbelievable this year. It's just great.
So one of the things that I'm always thinking about is, like, when you go to festivals, when you go to events like that, and there's multiple people you want to see at the same time, and it's so hard. It's kind of like Fashion Week in New York is like, you have Versace, you have like all these different designers that are doing their fashion shows, and you have to pick who's your favorite, who do you want to see, what's coming out, and what do? You have to go to one. You're only one person, so that is something I was gonna ask. A lot of them are doing multiple time slots at the same time, right?
Yeah, so I think last year there was a couple of drummers from the main stage that were doing smaller clinics as well. So that was really cool. So for people that didn't get to see them on the main stage, they got to see them in a smaller, kind of a more intimate setting. What lots of punters did last year was, I saw a lot of people with almost like a diary, and times as to who was playing what. And
Yeah.
the minute something ended, they
Run.
were up from their seats in the auditorium and they'd go to the next thing.
Get out of my
So
way.
I think you're gonna have to get your trainers on if you want to. Oh, sorry, sneakers. And you're gonna have
Trainers,
to,
sneakers.
trainers, sneakers. That's another
Your
one.
sneaks.
That's another one.
Your tennis shoes is like a very
Tennis
old,
shoes?
very old term.
Yeah.
Tennis shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I would suggest making an itinerary first. Because
So-
also in between watching all your favourite players, you're going to probably want to go and look at some drum porn downstairs in the actual exhibition bit and go and see. You get your wah wah pedal out and your guitar. Wow. Did you order a pizza? No, I'm joking. So that's so you're gonna have to put some time aside to go and look at all the drums and stuff as well.
Yeah, we definitely want to go and look around the exhibition room.
We did
And-
see
and-
that YouTube video
and
of that
talk to
guy
some of them.
going around and showing the different parts of the venue. And I was like, wow, it's really massive. It's huge. There's floors, there's different parts. And then we saw where, there was all these different kits. And like we were like, whoa, there's the Rogers kit that I was like, I never played on one of those old school kits. And then yeah, it's going to be like a carnival for drummers because there's so many things you want to try out and different times. So how long is the event? I know it's more than one day. It's a weekend event, right?
Yes, 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on the 28th and 29th of September.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's they're long days.
Are
that's
you
good.
are you doing like interviews there as well? Like you're gonna be talking to some of the drummers and like for a show or?
Honestly, so I'm hosting the main stage. So in between like hosting, I'm just like prepping like the whole time somebody else is on. I'm either watching from the wings at the side of the stage or I'm like working on something else. So it's cool though because I'll just plonk a chair just behind the curtain and just watch the drummer. Like it's good fun.
Nice.
So
That's
it's cool.
exciting.
Speaking of it being a carnival, there's a Ferris wheel right outside.
Yeah.
There is. Yes,
two of
there
them.
is.
There's one in the main city, right?
In
Center.
London.
And then there's the one in
in London.
Liverpool.
And one in Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah, so the one in London is called the London Eye, and it is like I guess obviously for you guys you'd say Ferris wheel. It is enormous. It goes really, 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 really high. The one in Liverpool compared to that is actually quite small, but it's still good fun.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we'll see if we want to do that.
You're not going to get time.
Yeah.
We're gonna have time for anything, really. We're just gonna be like,
No.
we're gonna go and we're gonna be overwhelmed with all the different things we're gonna want to see and do and hang out and talk with everyone. And
That
like,
sounds like our life.
I think
though.
the conversations alone is gonna take a lot of time too. So like having to be able to talk to people.
So I think we're just gonna be walking around and we're gonna be like, "Hey, I know you."
We're talking of walking around. What was really cool last year, and one of the things I fed back to the guys who run the UK Drum Show, I was absolutely breathtaken by the fact that pretty much every drummer, from main stage to the more intimate kind of sessions, they were just walking around with the customers with the punters of the show, and it was like. You had some really massive names last year, and they were just walking around the venue, just saying hi, how you doing? Just having selfies with people, and
Just being a normal person.
yeah, and I think that again,
Because
it
they
sounds silly,
are.
but
They just got more money than most of us. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Bigger houses, more money. I mean, but I mean, the way they are and they carry themselves is also an aura around them. Like a rock star, you can always tell when someone's. It's the confidence too. It's like walking around.
100%.
And that's the thing we were talking about when we went and we saw like Hootie and the Blowfish, we saw and it's like we didn't ask for a selfie. We were just hanging out, and I'm like, I know the New Yorker in me is like, if you want to get invited back, you don't act like that. You know how to behave. You know how to just chill and like have a conversation. And that's the thing. Like when you're around that, it's almost like a family, right? Like, okay, we appreciate, we respect you and your space. And if you see them in the restaurant, you don't just go, oh my God, no, autograph, because they're like in their, that's their chill time. That's their downtime if they're with their
Yes.
family. So like, as New Yorkers, we'll see that, but we don't. It's like an unspoken rule. And I think that's why so many artists live in New York City, because it's like, yeah, they don't care. Like, we do, but we're not going to be like...
Everyone is their own main character in their
Everybody,
own story
we're
here,
all the main characters
Yes.
in our movie, you know? So we respect people's space. So I'm gladly, like, walking around and yeah, like, oh, yeah, look at that guy. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah, okay. But it's not like that for us.
Yeah.
You know, so that's cool that they're just, you know, walking around, and it's a nice environment for them, too.
Well, I think, you know, if drummers are playing on, you know, for example, the main stage of arguably the biggest drum exhibition in the world, and they're going to choose to walk around and meet, you know, their fans, they're kind of got to expect to be stopped for a picture here and there, or to, you know, for an autograph or something. So, but yeah, somebody who really stands out for me from last year was Craig Blundell, who plays in Frost, and he again, amazing drummer, huge back catalogue of working with some of the biggest names ever, and he was just walking around, just sort of saying hello to everyone, you know, having a you know a drink with people that were there, and you know there was no fourth wall to break down. It was just person to person, and it was very cool.
Mm. Yeah, that's it's definitely one of those experiences where you appreciate more and you remember more, because
You're in the moment.
the way I explained it to Yen was that when you just go and you take a photo and you don't really have conversation, you know, you're just like fanning the entire time, they're not going to really remember you. They're going to associate you with like everyone else in this world, right? Whereas if you have a one-to-one conversation...
who are you talking to? I grew up as a teenager in New York City, and it was like I had to tell people, yeah, I met this person, that person. And they're like, well, Instagram wasn't huge back in the day. So I was like, now people are like, oh, if you don't have a photo, it never happened. And it's like, you know what? It's not really like that, because you actually have a conversation with someone and you don't want to be that person. Let's take a selfie. Oh my God.
And then like having that personal conversation, they'll remember you more, because the next time, you know, the next time you see them again, they'll be like, oh yeah, you were that, you know, person from that show or that day. And you know, and they ask how you're doing because remember there certain events and stuff. So you have that more personal connection.
100%.
There's some artists that they'll remember that, and they're like, oh yeah. And I was like, that was like 15 years ago. I was like a teenager, and they'll still remember things, you know, because of those things, those little conversations.
Definitely. I mean, I completely agree. I mean, do you know, sometimes I think it's really nice not to whip out your phone and take pictures and stuff. Sometimes I think it's so important to completely integrate into that conversation that you're having. Like, for example, I met Paul McCartney at a wedding, and I didn't take one picture at that wedding. And I remember just talking to him, and he was very like nice to me. And I can tell people that happened, but I didn't get a picture. And actually, when you're engaged in a conversation with somebody, rather than thinking, is this conversation going to end so I can quickly get a selfie and get some likes? Your conversation isn't going to have much substance or depth. But if you're actually concentrating on what that person is saying to you, then you know, just enjoy that moment. It's crazy how we do things now as a society for likes or engagement, or like, you know, it's just the whole world is just in one massive popularity contest, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
100% agree with you, because that's how I feel. And it's not even about like the likes and things like that. It's about the connections you make. And
I agree.
Yeah, with Johnny Rap, it was like we were talking the entire night, and then at the end, he was like, oh, we got to get a picture, guys. You know what I mean? Because Johnny Rap is the man. He is the sweetest dude ever. Like, and he was like, yeah. And then I was like, all right, let's take another picture. And then it was so natural.
I asked him if he knew about the UK drum show. He was like, yeah, I've heard of it. And I'm like, have you ever been invited? He was like, no. He was like, you know, stuff like that is tough for him to get on because of his, you know, his scheduling with Collective Soul. And he's like, he'll probably only be able to do stuff like that as if they're okay with, you know, cancellations, if something were to occur.
Timing is right.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I think any musician that is asked to play an exhibition or a clinic, whatever instrument, if something comes up, they're going to have to do it. For example, the organizer of the drum show, Neil, said to me that a few years ago they had booked Stevie Wonder's drummer, and it got right up to sort of the 11th hour. And I think the guy was basically on a plane and landed in London and then said, "I've got to go. Stevie's got a gig tomorrow in America." So he literally got on the next plane and went back to America. And also, it's the same with Two from Sleep.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Speaking of Two.
Yeah, and it is a shame, but there will always be another time. There will always be another experience waiting to go.
That was one of the reasons why I really wanted to go to. And of course, you, honey, you were the main act all along. You are the main star for me going over there, by the way. Okay, not for nothing.
You honestly, the names on this year's lineup. Yes, it is sad. Corey Fonville. He's just announced he can't do the main stage now, so that is sad. But that it's not like a drummer is going to pull out and there'll just be like an empty gap. If a drummer pulls out, somebody just as good, just as well known, just as talented will be filling in, and they'll create a name and a moment for themselves. And as drummers, it doesn't matter who they are. If they're a good drummer and they got a cool personality, that's it. That's the two things I look for.
So did you have anything in being part of like the organizing of like the drummers that are coming, or is it strictly from someone else?
I
having suggestions.
I made 2 suggestions for the main stage, and it is purely because they are friends. And I was literally a middleman. I didn't do anything else. But that was Nick Collins and Ray Hearn from Haken. So they were the 2 that I the guys at the drum show sort of I consider my friends now, and it was just a throwaway text, and I said, look, I know Nick would really like to do it. Could you make this happen? And and it did. And I think it was right place, right time, because Haken are crazy busy at the moment, and I think Ray said that they get back in the UK from like a European tour or something. About 20 hours before he's scheduled to play the main stage at the drum show. And Nick Collins, with his band, The Effect, I think they've just stopped doing some shows, and he's with his other band, Better Strangers, and then he's coming over here, and then he's going back out to do more stuff. So it's literally finding that window of availability, I think, for a lot of players. Yeah,
we brought up a friend of ours, Cameron Spence.
Oh, you know Cameron.
To see
Spence.
if he'd be like going to the event, but he said that he had a
Manchester gig.
Yeah, he had a gig already booked. But I think in the future, like maybe he is a possible candidate for like a guest at the UK drum show, because he's toured with Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah, we saw them this
recently,
year.
And he also played with
Novena,
which
is the singer from Haken.
The singer of Haken.
Yes.
So he has some good credibility, and he could definitely provide something
killer
fun
drummer.
for the show.
And he's from London.
I literally have nothing to do. They asked me to, host the event, and I love doing it. I think the reason Ray and Nick are doing it is literally I just found out they were available, and I said to Neil, would you like them? And he said yes, and that was literally it. But I'm sure I can put in a good word here and there.
A good word for next year.
A good word for next year. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from London too. We're gonna meet up with him. I think the last day we're in London before we come back. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, he's really cool.
So is there anything that you want to highlight about this show that we haven't covered yet? Anything that you think that we or anyone that is willing to or
what
would
to
like to
expect when we get there? Do we have like a certain what is it when you go to the show? Is it like the clinics first, or is it just like you pick what it is?
It's literally you walk in and it's like an alarm clock of drums. It's amazing. It's like you're all of a sudden part of the Blue Man Group, and you're just surrounded by noise and percussion and drums, and you can then look online, see who's playing at what time. Maybe I would suggest creating yourself a little itinerary for the weekend, and then and go from there.
So from the first time you went, Is there anything different that you're gonna experience or have experienced between the two times you're hosting?
I think from a personal perspective, what I've really enjoyed is the fact that I've been able to do these podcasts and get to know the drummers first. I did know of the players who played last year, obviously. I knew who they were, but now I've built up a bit of a relationship with them. It means that we can have a bit more fun with them. For example, when I interviewed Kenny Aronoff, I was teasing him about his, like $3 million sunglasses collection or whatever it must be, because he's just always in sunglasses. And I think if you can build up that rapport and that relationship with a player, it makes that the introduction, getting them on stage and set up and getting the crowd warmed up. I think and I guess for me personally, drummers are a breed of people that don't take themselves too seriously. They don't take life seriously at all. The majority of drummers I've met have all got Peter Pan syndrome. However old they are, they're just always really young at heart. And I feel like with a huge room full of 2,000 people of the same personality traits, it's just going to be an amazing weekend.
For sure, I feel the same way, and I think that's why we're making this trip. It's going
to be so good.
Yes, I feel it's going to be an experience, and it's like a kid in a candy store, just like gear, drummers, clinics, master classes, performances. So it's just going to be an amazing time. So I can't wait to be able to see everything, and having you there and seeing you in person doing your thing is going to be exciting. And I'll be like screaming your name.
It's going to be so good. It's going to be so cool. I will absolutely. I will do everything that I can to hang with you guys and come and say hello and show you around. Hopefully,
I mean, we understand you're going to be a very busy man. So no matter what time you can carve out for us, we're delighted to just have a little
hanging
moment
out afterwards for sure.
Yes,
we will definitely. I've got a lot of friends who are going to this, and my plan is to basically build like an army of people that want to socialize and just all go to the same place. So that's probably what I'll do.
So you do it every year. The next year, are they planning to do another one? Is it like a yearly traditional event?
Yeah, it was, but it used to be I think it used to be, if my memory serves me correctly, it used to be the London Drum Show, and then COVID happened, and I believe, or just before COVID, they became the UK Drum Show, and then COVID happened, so they were out. Everyone was out for a couple of years during COVID, weren't they? It was like a international break for everyone. Nobody could move anything forward, but they came back bigger, stronger, better. And now it is an annual event. So yes. So you'll have to come every year now.
I mean, I would go every year if there's everything that's happening, and it's just happening every year with new drummers and fresh content. Of course, and I know I'm going to love UK. I know the food that's another thing I was going to ask you, because we were talking about food. I know I love traveling because you get to try different people's food and everything.
Yes.
What is the one cuisine that you would say is the best to try?
Do you know what I'm gonna do? I am gonna go out and I'm gonna buy you typically British snacks or things to try, and I'm gonna give it to you in a carrier bag with instructions on how to eat them. And you can either try it in the UK or you can film yourselves eating it back home.
Ooh.
I will do that for you.
UK snacks, make a whole YouTube.
YouTube challenge to stream.
Yes, 100%. So I will buy you like some Branston pickle. I'll get you some Marmite. I will get you like some Cadbury's chocolate.
A chocolate orange.
Oh, chocolate orange. You guys not have chocolate oranges?
No, we just read it from Elven Fairy Queen.
Yeah, she just suggested it. I've never tried. I've never tried Marmite. I know it's like a spread. I've never tried that.
Yes, it is like it's quite thick and black, and it's some people
salty.
Don't
is it salty?
Very.
I've only heard of Marmite from a movie about an alien that ate Marmite.
Right.
I mean,
And I thought it was some alien like food or something.
Well, over here with Marmite, there's like a whole saying in the UK that's been based around this one sort of product, and everyone says you either love. They say, "Oh, it's like Marmite, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it." But that's really true. You either really love it or you think it actually tastes like arsehole.
Yeah.
So it's you know, it's one of the two.
Elvin Fairy Queen says, use Marmite sparingly.
It's a spread. It's a spread on bread, right?
So another thing I would like to figure out as far as facts go around Liverpool, I've heard
The do's and don'ts
to
is what we wanted to ask.
stay within the the touristy areas versus having to venture outside of, like, go into towns, because it can be a little rough around town.
I haven't ventured too far away from the actual exhibition centre, and you probably wouldn't get much of an opportunity to go too far deep, because you're only there for a couple of days. The show finishes at 6 or 6:30, and then you're going to be either going out locally, or there's a lovely dock, like where obviously boats are, and it's called the Albert Dock, and they've got loads of nice little restaurants there, so you can look out at the sea while you're eating. So that's quite romantic. You could do that on your anniversary dinner. You can go there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Elvin Fairy Queen says, I can give you a list of places not to go. My ex is from Liverpool.
Oh, the shade.
Don't go over there.
I've had like people tell me, "Oh, my condolences. You have to go to Liverpool." I'm like, "What's so bad about Liverpool?" That's what I was saying. What is it like? Because I know like Brooklyn here is like the hipster section that people don't like, and then there's like, obviously Manhattan is like, there's all kinds of things that the Village is different.
Well, they say
than Fifth Avenue,
Liverpool doesn't consider themselves English. That there's what they call themselves? Scousers. Yeah, Scousers.
Scousers. Yeah. I mean, they are English, so there's not really a great deal.
The center of Liverpool is
you can't
lovely.
get away from that.
Yeah. No. I haven't. I've only been out in Liverpool a couple of times. That was obviously while I was doing the drum show. Everybody was so friendly and lovely, and yeah.
And
so
there's
I haven't.
different types of accents in UK. They were telling me, and I was like, that you can tell what region that someone is from.
Oh, 100%.
Really?
It's and obviously because we're such a small country, it's crazy that you can drive like 50 miles down the road and people sound very, very different. I mean, here I'm based in a place called Essex, which is about 35 miles south of London. But if you drive 50 miles in the other direction and you get to a place called Kent, people sound like farmers. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, all right, that's all right. Yeah. And and then you've got Manchester, which is 100 miles away or something, and it's it's crazy. But
I like how you're using the units of miles versus kilometers.
Yes, sorry. Yes, I know. But you guys are the same. Like in New York, I mean, like you guys are sort of. This is obviously an exaggerated character trait that I'm going to try and embarrass myself here with. But you say like, "Can I have a cup of coffee?" Like you guys would sort of like
a cup of coffee.
But then in
But
Texas,
remember, he is from Jersey. He's a Jersey boy. I'm a Manhattanite. I was born in Manhattan, but I've lived in different parts also. Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn.
Yes.
I have family in Long Island, around where Portnoy is from. My son's grandparents are from that same town. So it's like they all sound a little different. Like I'm from Long Island. Like, there's like a thing, a little twang. So there's a lot of different little things, little twang, and the little syllables are different and stuff, and the vowels. So
and it's strange that I'm from New Jersey. I don't have a Jersey accent.
Thank God.
There's an accent for New Jersey people, and it's not good.
He really tried hard to not get it. That's what it is.
But is it unbelievably? Is it offensive for me to say that you guys, to me, you sound the same?
No.
You sound very similar. If you guys were sitting next to somebody
he sounds
from...
like he has been a little bit whitewashed, because his mom is originally from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And they moved to the suburbs in New Jersey, and his
Okay.
mom never lost the New York accent.
Yeah, there's this.
So
there's a
his
heavy New
mom
York.
is a true New Yorker. And I told him, I was like, that's why you
Right.
came back, honey, because you don't belong in Jersey. You were originally, your mom just decided to have you in New Jersey. And you were like, no, mom, I belong to the city. You know?
It's calling me back.
So
Yeah,
he does have it.
I think if you guys were sitting next to somebody from Texas, I'd be able to tell the difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, the southern accent's completely different than the
Oh,
northern.
no.
Yes, yes. I
They
like how yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Like I suppose from our perspective, we have different places that people are. Think of farmers might be from one area. You might think of whatever, and that's kind of the same in America, isn't it? You think of certain places and associate that type of personality or that character with that particular state or region or area.
Mhm.
It's actually probably not true. Sometimes I mean, with America, you could either think of like big portions of food or loads of hugely impressive art and music. I mean, what you guys have produced, to the world of music and art is unbelievable. But then sometimes you might think of people that have a sofa on their front porch.
Yeah.
In Kentucky somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's
In
like,
the South, playing a banjo.
I would love to do that. I would literally love to just be able to have a sofa out the front of my house. That would be great.
I wouldn't imagine all the mold and stuff growing out there from the
The
rain
dust
and
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
bugs.
The
and-
pigeon poop.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but hey,
It's
In the
so
to
cool.
each their own, right?
In the country, I think. In the country is different, right?
I mean, the country has a shit ton of bugs.
I mean, it's not Australia is a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Like they have
my God.
everything is poisonous over there, but it's gorgeous. And I love their
Yeah.
accent too.
I love the idea of Australia, but like those spiders, nah, it's not. happening.
I'm the one that kills spiders. He runs from them.
No,
I'm like, what are you
I'm
gonna
not
do?
doing
I
it.
can't. I will admit, I am the baby when it comes down to bugs in general. I can't.
Yeah,
Again, suburb city. This is the difference.
yes, I'm definitely sensing where you guys are very different now.
Yeah. But you'll see. You'll see when you meet us. It's gonna be
I'm
so
looking
much
forward
fun.
to it.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
So if there's any more questions, Elvin, Fairy Queen, do you have any questions? Tommy, let me know now that you're in the chat here that we have Ollie.
What's Ollie up to after the UK drum show?
Yeah,
Like,
what
what do
is-
you have planned in the future?
For the rest of the year.
So there's another podcast coming out very soon that I'm not allowed to talk about, but that is coming out. And in November, I'm hosting. Oh, in October, I'm gonna go and see Dream Theater. In November, I'm hosting an event at the O2 in London, and so in between now and probably end of November, it's podcasts and events, and then December will be chilled.
The
Let's take it back a
holidays,
little
of
bit.
course. The
It will
holidays
be.
are
It'll be amazing.
gonna be nice.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you
Big
have
fun.
any plans to visit NYC in the future?
Well, I've been to New York twice, and I just fell in love with it. I would move over in a second, I would love to be over there. I think there's something about America that, like, every time I've got on a plane, I always think to myself, why am I not going to America? I don't know what it is. I feel a very close emotional attachment
Maybe
with
your
America. and I
heart
really,
is like in America.
I feel like it is. Like I went to Disney World when I was like 4, and I'm convinced that there was like a subconscious bug planted in my brain after that. And I love everything you guys do. I love how big like Halloween is over there. Like over here, if you knock at somebody's door, you don't know what you're gonna get. But over there, it's like, it might be a half-naked man or something just exposing himself and getting arrested. But over there, it's like, I don't know. I just think there's just something very, very special about America, and specifically 2 places that really stood out were New York and California.
The 2 prime spots. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I went to like a restaurant in New York. I was just sitting next to this guy, and we just got talking, and then we just added each other on Facebook, and we like talk quite regularly now. And it's just like, I love about you guys how you're so just open to friendship and open to connections, and I don't know. There's just something very, very special to me about America, and I would love to move there one day.
Because we appreciate culture and we appreciate everyone from all different parts of the world, because we're like the melting pot. And they always say that about us, and it's true. So then when we find the actual concentrated version like yourself, we want to just know everything more. Like, is this true? Is this stereotype true? What is this? What is that? Because we want to get it from the source, because we have the watered down source here. You know what I mean? So like, if you moved here, you would get swarmed by everyone wanting to just pick your brain, going out with you, wanting to know you. And like, it's just, that's the way we are. We're super curious about everyone else.
And that's great, because I love talking to people. Honestly, when I went to New York, I think on about 7 occasions, I got asked by strangers the question, "Do you know the Queen?"
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
That was like, they were like, "Oh my God, do you know the Queen?" I was like, "Yeah, she's my next door neighbour, actually, and she's a lovely woman." But no, obviously I didn't say
we
that.
had tea in the evening before I left.
and a spot of dick.
Spot of dick.
But that was probably, they're like, "Oh my God, do you know Prince Harry?"
Prince Harry.
Oh my God, you sounded amazing when you said that. You were on the money with that accent right there.
Harry?
I don't know why I did that, and I'm going to regret that when I watch this back.
It was perfect.
Thank you. You're too kind. I'm available for weddings and all events. But yes, America is very, I love it over there. I absolutely love it.
Well, if you ever come, you already know you have 2 friends here. Whenever you come, and we'll have a ball too. We'll end up taking you wherever you want and do the thing, because that we love sharing our city, and we've met a few of our friends, and like Cam this year, Tyson Dang from Red Handed Denial. He's from Canada. He came down twice, and we hanged out with him and his wife, and then he came and we saw him live, and so like, that's another thing, is seeing our friends tour and then get to see them and experience them play. And a lot of them were on the podcast. They were all on the podcast. And then we go and support them.
And it's the same for you guys, but if ever now we've got this transatlantic friendship. If ever you're over here, well, you are actually, so I don't even need to say that. You've bought the plane tickets, I haven't. So you come to me, I'll tell you where to go. And then, we can always, next time I'll come to you.
Yeah, for sure. Like next year, I'm planning, if everything goes to plan. I wanted to do it this year, but unfortunately, it's too soon now. But I did have a collab with someone from the UK. And I was telling him like, oh, I want to meet up. I want to do this. I want to do that. And he did the mixing of the first 2 singles that we released. And what I really wanted, I guess, is to have kind of like a coffee shop,
to do a little show.
Yeah, a little performance or something, because when do we get to go over there and perform over there? But obviously, like, I don't know, he's not as much as a performer as he used to. He loves doing the streaming thing on Twitch and stuff. He's like, oh, it's too much to just lugs. It's like, for some reason, streaming for people when COVID happened, because he used to do a lot of shows before, it almost made some musicians too comfortable with just going live in this setting instead of being in person. For me, the live setting in front of an audience is very different than just going live and performing and getting people to watch you. But
I agree. I definitely agree. And I think also with live performances now, even live performances, there's a lot that's not actually live. There's a lot of backing tracks. There's a lot of, guide vocals. And actually, I really am not a fan of that at all. I like to go and see a band, and actually I quite like it when somebody might hit a wrong note, or when somebody does something wrong or drop their drumstick or whatever, because for me that implements an element of humility and realness, and the show is organic. If a singer sings a bum note or a flat note or whatever, that's cool. It's human. We live in this world, and it's just instant perfection and instant gratification all the time, and it's not real. It's not how the world works. If that's slowly kind of dripping its way into music, I think that would be really sad. So thankfully, the music that we like, rock, you don't maybe don't get too many bands that kind of use that stuff, but because they probably think that's the similar thing. But in other genres, it's quite backing track heavy, which I think is sad. But I probably sound like a dinosaur to somebody who's like in their late teens or early 20s watching this, going, "Oh no, like, you don't know what you're talking about."
I think like
No,
the
it's
use
true.
of the backing tracks, this is like a conversation we've had before,
Because
where
we don't have an
we
official
don't have
guitarist.
a full like band, right? So until we are
Okay.
able to completely, nail down a guitarist for the band and a bassist for the band, like that's the only reason why we're
I
running
personally
tracks.
don't like it, and I've been telling him. He's like, "Oh, we don't need, it's fine. Like people do this too." And I said,
Yeah, like I
we-
mean, any other element like synths and strings, and that we can't afford to get a whole orchestra behind us or a keyboardist with the right sounding patches. Like those are the things that I would say like it's fine to use tracks on, but like I would love to have like a real guitar player or a real bassist, in a band, because that makes it feel
Yeah.
like a full band.
like last time I had to hire one, and I would love to find one that is as passionate and loves our sound and wants to actually be in
Definitely.
it. That I don't have to pay guns all the time. So that's hard. Even though we're in a big
Yeah.
city, it's hard to find someone that is into like the same genre, especially like the prog rock and grunge kind of mixture that we have in our stew. So that's a thing. But I do believe that live instruments, live everything, if you can do it, if you have awesome, amazing people, then that's what I prefer too. Because they're,
Yeah, I agree.
but I think
A
rock is
100%.
coming back. I think it's actually becoming more mainstream again. One example is
hope so.
Gojira. Gojira
Yes.
opening up the Olympics.
Yes, amazing.
Incredible,
So
yeah.
whoever gave that the green light deserves a pay rise. That was absolutely phenomenal. But I mean, when we did the Olympics in 2012, it wasn't as heavy, but we had Muse play, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Because like I'm a huge fan of Muse, and like seeing them perform was that was quite cool for the Olympics. But yeah, Gojira were just another level. They were amazing. In fact, that was the best part of the Olympics for me.
It was
that moment.
because everything else was like a disaster. There were so many like memes from the
Yes.
Olympics.
Everything else was healthy. It was like people running and jumping. I was just like, I don't want to turn this off. I'm not watching this. But when Gojira were playing, I was like, oh yeah, this is the Olympics. Is great.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was fun to see like a really heavy metal band like getting put mainstream up there.
100%.
That
Yes.
was the best part for me too.
Mhm.
All right. Well, I
awesome.
think we're nearing the end of the podcast.
Well, it was lovely to see you both.
It was. It's warming
and
us up
I-
to the show and going to.
Yeah.
I hope. Well, honestly, I can't wait to meet you guys in person. I can't wait to see all the content that you're going to be putting out after you've no doubt made about 50 vlogs and put them all together for a massive YouTube marathon that you're going to create. And just from my perspective, for the perspective of knowing you on a personal level, you're just two of the coolest people that I have met in the world of podcasts, in the world of
Stop it.
rock and metal. No, it's true. Because if you were arseholes, I wouldn't come on.
Of course.
But genuinely, like you guys are great. You're easy to talk to. You're very good at what you do, and coming on and doing something like this with you is always a pleasure. So I can't wait to meet you in person, and I can celebrate your anniversary with you. Just
Yes.
for, being that third wheel. And I will. Can't wait to meet you.
That means the world to me, coming from you, being an amazing podcaster that you are, at the level that I strive to be, having people like amazing people that you have on your podcast and doing these huge events. That's the reason why I really wanted to go out there too, because I want to see your world and I want to see how it works, and being around that community of drummers, because we love, our drummers so much here. Drum Fam is really strong on Twitch too. And it's gonna be something that I'm always gonna like hold dear to me, that you invited us, and we're
Of
gonna have such a
course.
great experience. And I'm very much looking forward to
Thank you
meeting
so much,
Thank you
Ollie.
so much. It
No,
means the world to me.
Honestly, it's my pleasure. And as far as I'm concerned, you guys are like my favorite American couple. So congratulations, you've got that title. It will be amazing to hang out with you. And I think also, from your perspective, you can take the opportunity to do your podcast and do something there, whether it's filming or seeing if even if you can interview a couple of people, who are just around and about. And also, you can network, you can meet people and get them to come on your podcast, when you get home. So use it as a networking event, use it as an event to have fun, and and just enjoy it and embrace it.
Oh my God, that would be amazing if we could do that. Like we were saying,
sure.
if that opportunity comes, it'll be amazing. We'll be ready for it.
Good.
New Yorkers, we're ready. Let's do it.
Good. It'll be amazing to. My AirPods have just died, so
Whoa.
It will be it will be amazing to see you.
Well, thank you so much, Ollie. We're gonna be talking.
thank
We're gonna
you.
do that WhatsApp thing or whatever it is, wherever we
Yes.
communicate.
We'll use Instagram.
And we're
WhatsApp
gonna.
is so much better.
Oh, we could still do both. We could do whatever is instant, because I think that's like a phone,
WhatsApp.
right? Like the phone number thing.
Yeah.
So it'll be instant, because if we're not checking our Instagram all the time, then we might
Yeah.
miss it.
Yeah. You have to give me your numbers. And
Alvin
Warsauce.
Fairy Queen too. We got to get on with you guys, and I have friends coming from Norway too,
Talamir.
and
Amazing.
Denmark coming. So that's gonna be fun. Mr.
Wow.
Greggles.
Mr. Gregel's going to be at the
booth.
UK drum show, he said.
Amazing.
Doing a I guess a performance at the exhibition area.
Okay.
Probably just showcasing some of the product. He's a Roland artist and a
Cool.
Meinl artist. So
Wicked.
that's what I've heard. I guess what he said, that he's going to be there. So we're going to meet up with him. So
That's going to be so cool. Yeah, you guys will absolutely love it.
Thank you so much, Ollie, and
You're
for giving
welcome.
us your time and space. We love you, and we can't wait to actually You gotta give me a big bear hug when you see me.
You guys are 100% getting hugs. It's happening.
Yes.
all right.
It's lovely to see you.
All right, Ollie. Thanks again.
Look after
Stick
yourself.
around for the end show. We will talk to everyone after the show on Discord. Command Discord. Join Discord if you want to have any sort of conversation about the podcast. And, keep up to date with us on our socials. Keep up to date with the UK Drum Show, their site, the YouTube. Catch the rest of the podcasts that Ollie is going to be releasing soon. Up until the day of the show. And if you want to come to the show, definitely come to the show. There's still tickets available, I'm sure.
But I think yes.
So if you can make it out, it'll be awesome. We could all meet up, and maybe you can play some drums while you're there. So
Do it, because Yen and Luna are going to buy everyone dinner, so that's really fun.
Let's do it.
I don't know about that one. But yeah,
Cheers,
so
guys.
until then, have a great rest of your week, months, year, and we hope to see you guys again real soon. Catch you soon, Ollie.
Take care. See you
Much
later.
love, everyone.
Much love.
Bye.
Bye.